Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a GameStar presentation. Tonight we have a game for number 7 on the Cybergamer League of Legends Open Ladder. And of course I say that, but of course the new ELO system means it's completely different. It will be between Baylieve and team name Pending, which is spelled incorrectly. There is between 30 to 34 ELO points on the line here, as team name Pending are at about number 64 on the ladder. So, my name is Coldblood, and joining me to bring this game to you, it will be Mendrix. How are you?
Good evening, guys. I'm ready to get into this, and I'm happy to see what's going to happen with Team Name Pending. They're actually newcomers, I believe. I think I've seen their names before, but they're a new team, or
Yeah,
they
I think they just got together, and of course, being in the lobby, we could see that most of them are in Diamond, whereas Bayleave, they were very high plats, and some of them in Diamond as well. So this is sure to be a cracker of a match. And already, I'm excited, Mendrix. We've got the Susan locked in.
Oh, Susan is in there. I'm surprised considering how many, just the amount of bans coming out of solo queue that they're throwing Susan out there. But I'm pretty sure PC is actually quite a good Susan player, so I'm not sure why they let him have it.
No, it's interesting. They did ban out Lee Sin, Shyvana, and Mundo, so it's not like they didn't target him at all. With Elise, Curse, and Riven being taken out by the Bayleaf guys, so a lot of assassins and tanky derps have copped the ban in this one.
Yeah, the new Bruiser meta that's happening right now because of that second wind talent is basically been causing this massive just. Shyvana's always out.
Brick walls smashing against each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Tons
These
of
brick
fun.
walls that just don't die, yet kill everything.
Okay.
What can they do?
So, shout out to Frozen King, who said about 5 minutes before the game starts that he wanted it casted, and we were like, yeah, sure, whatever. Shout out to Maka, who is throwing some insults out to Liggy Girl. Shout out to Liggy Girl, who was once Liggy Bro 123, but went under the knife and is now Liggy Girl. And we can see that following up the Susan, we have the Annie Lucian bottom lane, which has a heck of a lot of burst, particularly at level 6. So I'm wondering what the team name Pending guys are going to pull out in their debut. They've got the Ezreal locked in, and it will be a double female bot lane with the Nami.
They have a very, very CC-oriented team coming out right now. We've got a Nami with that, with her ultimate can cause amazing shit, and then you're following up. Yeah, it's all a pure setup for the Zac ultimate. It's going to be follow with her tidal wave, follow in with the let's bounce, and then basically the following up with what was Jarvan's one called again? The
Cataclysm into
Cataclysm, yes.
Standard strike combo.
Pretty much, they got a really big wombo combo with that team, and I'm interested to see how they're going to follow it up with their mid.
I would really agree with this Gragas pick if they lock it in, as the explosive cask would be brilliant to offset the initiation that we just went over. I love seeing Zac Mendrix. I hope he goes top. I love seeing Zac pick up the Sunfire cape and kill people while his blobs moving into the middle. I expected to see Zac earlier than this, honestly, with Sunfire Spirit Visage becoming the flavor of the month type of items. That's perfect for Zac. That's exactly the items that he likes to get.
Yeah, I'll probably see it as time goes on. Zac will definitely probably move it into as this Bruiser meta evolves. He'll definitely be one I'll see picking up. And I think maybe that team name Pending's just trying to be ahead of the curve right now.
Yeah, well, fair enough. It's definitely going to do well against. We can assume he's going against either Kha'Zix or Narcissus, and what he does will be very different depending on who he's against. We've seen a lot of Kha'Zix jungle at the moment because he clears so quickly. He doesn't get camped like he does when he's mid, and he does a lot of damage with very few items. And with all these, tanky junglers coming out, people aren't used to someone coming out of the bush and insta-gibbing you.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, Kha'Zix is one of those guys he snowballs, and I've actually seen him quite a lot in solo queue at the moment. He's been the jungler of choice, and it's interesting to see how this he's sort of a meta is evolving, because he's got basically when he's resetting, he's going to be Kobe Bryant jumping around everywhere.
Kobe Bryant, he's the guy who never passes.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. He doesn't need to pass. He just jumps in, kills, jumps out. It's same as him just scoring the goals.
Okay, so we do have the summoners blacked out, ladies and gents, just so the players can't ghost what the other side is running. So we're eagerly awaiting to see who, if the bug is at the top or in the jungle, and where the beloved Susan will go. We can see that Fizz was the last pickup for team name Pending, so you were right there, Mendrix. They wanted to leave that mid to last. They're going to pick a slippery assassin. Fizz was very popular for a while. He's fallen off just a little bit in popularity, but still very, very strong. Very snowbally as well. Between J4 and Fizz, that roam potential and, ganking is very, very strong. So, would not be surprised to see them hanging out with each other as the mid game rolls in.
Yeah, considering how gank orientated both these, well, assumed to be the jungles are right now, you can see there's going to be a lot of contention mid, I think. Especially, they're going to want to snowball either one. Gragas is more of a safe farmer. Fizz wants to get those early kills and then start roaming down to pretty much, it's a bot to top whenever he gets the chance.
Yeah, it can be tricky against Gragas for the Fishman because, of course, Graggy pretty mobile with the dash. He gets the Drunken Rage, which decreases damage taken, I think, by 10% at rank 1, which is nothing to scoff at, and you need about, I think, 25% CDR to keep that buff up indefinitely. But most of the time it will be up, and Fizz's burst cut by quite a bit due to that. We can, of course, see that it will be Susan versus Zac up at the top, so I would definitely expect Zac to be leveling the Stretching Strike, the Q ability, and try and bully the Narcissus out. As Zac, I would say, would do very, very well early against Narcissus. There's not a lot that the poor Susan can do against it, because, of course, if he tries to go for some magic resist, he's going to have J4 coming in, who packs quite a punch early on himself.
Even if he builds armor, because the Passant's cadence that or martial cadence that J4 has, it's magic damage when he hits, and it's based off
no, it's
health
physical,
percentage.
but it's
is it physical?
Yeah, it's current. But
isn't it off the current? That's right, off current health. So either way,
his,
even if
Dragon Strike reduces armor as well.
Yeah, well, I think
his only magic damage is the standard, actually. Because I know that his passive procs lifesteal, so I don't think it's magic damage.
Oh, okay, fair enough then. Okay, I just remember him always just being able to pop people every time that martial cadence hits, and you just think, what are you doing, J4? how are you that strong building tank? That makes no sense.
Yeah, I remember when him, Xin, and Vi were all the rage because of they all had ways to initiate onto a carry. They had percentage damage, they had armor shred, and it was very difficult to try and deal with.
Yeah, exactly. Well, basically because of the way the jungle was back then as well in season 3, the level 2 ganks. Yeah, well, level 2 ganks was so powerful. You could pick up your first buff and then just jump straight into someone, and even if you went level 2, you had sufficient wave clear. That's why there was such very popular junglers at the time.
Okay, so we will have Annie and Lucian down at the bottom lane. We have seen Baylieve quite a few times here on GTV2. They are a very skilled bot lane. But going against Jack and Aerie, I am very excited to see Nami being picked up again. She is awesome to watch. There was at the last respawn, Mendrix, there was this bit where a Nami landed like a 5-man bubble into Tidal Wave, and I may have sworn for about 2 minutes straight and had almost the entire room laughing at me.
I can't believe, bubble into, the bubble was the first thing that hit. Wow.
I'll have to send it to you after this. I definitely dropped a few F-bombs. It was very well done. So, the Nami Ezreal, of course, you do have the synergy between Nami's, I think Tidecaller's Blessing or something as her E, and that will proc on the Mystic Shot, so the poke is quite strong there. But Annie fairly harassing herself, so I could see both of these starting off with a Spell Thief's Edge. I would say
I want to give the advantage to the to Nami and Ez simply because they got the sustain, which is something that Lucian and Annie won't have.
That's very true, yes. And Annie she brings a lot of damage and burst potential, but Nami provides a huge amount of utility. And if you get enough AP, her bouncing wave thing actually increases in potency on the bounces rather than decreases.
That's what I heard. And then it's weird because I know a lot of Namis they've been building. They want to go def cap. And it's just like, what you going def cap? And it's just like, oh wait a second, that's right. You don't need to buy a bajillion wards now.
Yeah, and so, the AD carry does another 100 magic damage on his attacks. It's pretty scary.
I can imagine. Wow.
Okay, so level, oh, of course, we are into the skin battle. We can see the Santa Gragas. That was probably picked up not too long ago with the Christmas. We've got the Koinami, which has the funny little sharks coming out. Warring Kingdoms J4, which makes him shout for the king, which I do love hearing. Mecha Kazakhs. So skin battle definitely going to go the way of Team Pending, who are here in their debut. Level 1 power, what are we thinking here, Mendrix?
Level 1 power, I'd have to give it to Baylieve, to be honest. I mean, they've got a very slippery crew, I must admit, in team name Pending, but they really, you've got the Gragas who can throw his barrels out. You've got the Kazakhs with isolation damage, and then Annie's going to have her stun up, basically. That's why she's sitting there right now. Although, yeah, there you go. I was going to say, don't walk out. You should continue spamming your stuff out with a bit more.
Yeah, she wants to be with her team, but have a few charges of the Pyromania up.
Exactly. So, if she gets one good stun off, with the burst that they're going to have, and especially if Nasus follows up with her, that flash isn't going to take them too far.
Yeah, well, of course, team name Pending, they do have the Demacian standard for the vision. They do have the potential of a big Aqua Prison coming out from the Nami, so it's going to be tentative who walks away with the victory in these fights. So just fixing up this here, there we go. So team name Pending going to take a circumventive route around, and Brap is going to slingshot his way into the bush here. They're checking out what's going on, but Baylieve, they are in position to try and deal with this. Blue team will have the advantage here. Nice stun goes out from Frozen King. Looks like Baylieve do not want to fight that one. Beautifully reacted to by Frozen King.
Was that a 5-man stun?
I believe it was 4.
4.
And Nami was just kind of like, oh.
Okay, I can see
my team's stunned. Get out.
Exactly, team stunned. Okay, maybe this is, she was stunned herself by how amazing that stun was.
Yes. Oh. Hopefully she can pull out some stunning stuns herself. So we will go over both the teams representing the number 7 Baylieve on the Cybergamer Open League or League of Legends Open Ladder. Fighting for about 29 or 30 elo. It will be Peace on the Graggy, who, like all scumbag mids, not helping with the red buff. We have Deathify on the Jungle Kazakh. Astrocat will be the Black Man Lucio, his partner in crime. Frozen King Zero on the Annie, and rounding them out will be Liggy Bro 123, now known as Liggy Girl.
And in the red trunks, we're going to be having down on the bottom lane, we have Jack on Ezreal, and Ari landing a very good Aqua Prison at the very start there as the Nami, and Jack taking a lot of damage, 0 down to half. Up in the mid, we have Fizz, Shadow Fiend, or the Shadow Fiend, sorry, and in the jungle, T-Missy, he's there taking out those Wraiths right now, and finally up top, Brappa as the Zac.
That's a tricky name to say on the J4, TMACW.
Yeah, it is actually. T-Makwasi. You could say it's French.
Or he just likes being a jerk with the mispronounce the names. Bubble is going to miss down at the bottom lane. Huge amount of burst from both lanes here. So it's going to be tricky. We can see everyone except for Frozen King is level 2 here, but the stun is available for Annie. So they're going to have to be careful here. Both jungles have now picked up their double buff after clearing out the Wraiths, and will be looking to make their impact known. Looks like Deathify going to go for some farming. Team Makwa, our French J4, is going to use the standard to check if Kazakhs is there, and just going to be hanging around the top part of the river, so he could go either way. Looks like he will be coming in for Peace on the Graggy, who does now have the body slam. I wonder if he's going to be able to get out of this one. Does have flash, but he is a little bit too far forward. Does not manage to avoid the knock-up and is forced to flash. Barely getting knocked up by the J4 there, so unfortunate for him.
Yeah, Tamako's probably going to be seen now to come around after forcing that flash. He's going to want to camp that Gragas until that kill comes out.
Oh, and actually Shadow Fiend might be going in by himself. Yeah, that's definitely going to be first.
There you go, he doesn't even need to come back.
Okay. Oh, actually J4 got the assist for that. So
seriously, really? Wow.
Yeah, Tamako's going to be very happy with that one. Didn't waste too much time at all. Farming away the Wraiths suddenly, or not Wraiths, Wolves, suddenly gets some first blood assist money.
Yeah, pretty much. He's chilling. Oh wow, I didn't even need to lose any time and I'm still farming. This is pretty good.
This is very bad news for Baylieve. You don't want a J4 getting to level 6 quickly, which is exactly what's going to be happening here. Nice trade by Airy down at the bottom. Is Frozen King going to throw out a little bit of his own attack there? Deathify will be coming in. There are no wards for the red team here, but Tamakwa is down. Frozen King falling lower and lower. Does have his stun available as Tamakwa is going to be coming in. Deathify going to get a lot of damage down, and that will be enough to pick up the kill. That is red being refreshed there as Jack flashes forward, but Deathify going to leap out of the way there. Is Astrocat going to fall? No! Beautifully done by Baylieve to get a revenge kill on the J4, immediately shutting down that XP lead he had. And we talked about the Kazakh snowball. That is not what you want happening.
There you go, and that's exactly just that isolation damage up early. He wasn't even isolated then when he jumped in, but yeah, Kha'Zix is one of those characters that once he gets going, that's it. You have to watch out for him, and pretty much now he's got 2 kills up. He's got a refresh on his buffs. He's going to be a very happy little bug in the jungle.
You give him a finger, he'll take the whole arm. That is what
pretty much, yeah.
So people are used to, you know, things like J4 coming around to be a bit of CC and a brick wall. Suddenly a bug comes out and one shots, and then like, wait a second, that's not meant to happen.
Exactly, they're just kind of wondering, it's like, so it's okay, I'm J4, I've got, oh my god.
Oh, in the mid lane, Shadow Fiend falling lower and lower, but Explosive Cast not yet available. I like the little candy things coming out of Peace there.
Oh wow,
actually, that was isolated body slam damage. That does a massive amount of damage when it's not spread amongst anything else. I was just gonna say, Peace is actually winning on the CS by a decent bit, and then he clears the minion and takes his opportunity to get a bit of revenge. So Baylieve, they came ready to defend their position, and I'm gonna have to stop saying that because what they are makes no difference on it, apart from team name Pending. If they win, they get a bit more elo than they normally would. They're only at 64 at the moment out of about 120 so teams, so it's there's a fair bit of elo on the line.
Yeah, I can definitely for Baylieve right now, and this is basically one of those classic matchups where you've got, you know, it's basically experience versus individual skill, because team name Pending has a higher rated team, but Baylieve have been together for much longer, and that's, you can definitely
at
see
the bottom lane, Jack is going to be stunned up, takes an ignite to the face. Deathify was waiting in the tri-brush, but a river ward is going to reveal that he was coming in, and they do manage to get out of there. Deathify barely missing on the Void Spikes there, which does have the inbuilt slow now. Looks like he will be going for more of an assassination type build. It's just going to be looping, come back around. Deathify setting up his tent down here at the bottom. Jack going to take a little bit of damage, not too bad actually. Actually walks away with more damage than he had before. I don't think Taste Their Fear was even utilized. As,
no, it's not done. They seem to be going in a bit more, but... And there you go, Any dropping down very low, but they're still here. Comes J4 coming in, TMC. He's like, French initiate. He believed he'd be able to get the... And he no, unfortunately.
No, he did not get the knock-up. Frozen King was backing out at the right time. So many people here close to having their ultimates, but none are available. In the mid lane, we can see that Shadow Fiend doing a good job at grabbing up some CS once he comes back to lane. Top lane is in B-Rapper's favour at the moment, but Liggy Girl, 87 stacks on that queue. Looks like it is not bugged anymore, with telling us what he is. Hasn't even had to use the pot yet, so he's a little bit of a ticking time bomb for the Team Pending guys. I'd say they definitely have a strong mid game, and we pointed out the AoE composition that they've got. But late game, they put that AoE into effect, and suddenly they've got a Narcissus ripping apart their Ezreal. And you pointed it out before, Wither doesn't make flashing away do that much.
And man looks like he's in trouble, and gets away just in time.
Oh, standard? Is the standard gonna come down? Nope, he just jumps in like that. Will our French J4 get out of here?
He's like, Cataclysm, Damacia! And then it just takes the way.
Oh
he's
man,
like,
we're going to hell for our,
we are.
for our accents. Worth it. So, very nicely done by name Pending there. I really feel like he could have gotten a very stylish Demacian standard kill, but playing it safe, throwing out the Cataclysm. He did have blue, so the cooldown not going to be too long on that one. Already at 79 seconds. As Liggy Girl going to fall lower down, up at the top lane. Looks like Let's Bounce was utilized there. Liggy Girl going to be forced to back out. Does have teleport, and we'll be back in there momentarily. But I'm just thinking here, Mendrix, that the red team, they really need to give some attention to this Narcissus. With Cataclysm, they can lock him up for quite a while. They need to do something about him. He's farming much too easily for going against a resourceless person.
Pretty much, he's just sitting there being like, no worries, and this Zac is just, every time he hits, it's hitting him like a wet noodle. He just says, look, no worries, I'll just sustain off the minions. Yep. Exactly, and then when he gets the end game, that's it. He'll be raid boss status.
But to be fair, Zac has an awesome late game himself, and Lucian, he's slippery, but I don't think he's gonna be the best choice against Zac at that point. Like the presence that Zac has later on in the game, when he can just jump on top of people and put out huge amounts of damage while soaking multiple cooldowns.
Yeah, he's basically he's a part of that bruiser meta as well right now. He's gonna have fantastic sustain when second wind pops, and he'll be able to
at the bottom lane. We can see the bubbles going to land on both of them with the wave coming in. That is both of them instantly gone. Barrier and flash going to be used by Astro Cat, but the ignite will take him down. Jack flashing for good measure, and I'm glad I didn't drop any F-bombs there, Mandrix, but imagine 3 more people, and that's basically what happened at Respawn last year.
That was perfectly set up by Airy right then, and just happy to pick up a few kills for his team, and now they're going to take an easy dragon. However, I'm a bit worried about what that Kha'Zix might do if he gets in there. Oh, wow.
Okay, so he used that a little bit early, I think, but I don't think there was any. Oh yeah, there was vision for blue team. So I think Peace was a little over. What am I trying to say?
Overzealous.
Overzealous. That's it. Over eager with because between the explosive cask and the barrel roll, he could put out a huge amount of damage. I'm pretty sure he could out damage the smite, maybe even just with explosive cask. So if he gone for the dragon instead of the Nami, that they may have walked away better than that. And Deathify choosing not to go in there, I think he was quite low on mana and not the healthiest either.
Well, I think they wanted to open up an opportunity for Kha'Zix
mid lane Mendrix. We can see Shadow Fiend falling lower and lower, but our French J4 is in here to save the day. Peace going to have the Cataclysm used on him, but there isn't too much follow-up. The present comes out, will not be able to finish off Shadow Fiend. Will Peace be able to get out? No. Body Slam, the nerfs that were to the Graggy are gonna hit him hard, and he cannot get out of that one. Another good gank by the French J4. That is 2,000 gold in team name Pending's lead. And they're definitely
he's not over. He's not finished. He wants to put that attention that you were speaking of back onto Nasus, and here they go.
Well, they don't have Cataclysm available, but a decent bit of damage is going to be going down. The ultimate is used from Liggy Girl. Nice knock up there. I'm not sure if they actually have the damage to follow this one up. Ghost is going to be popped by Liggy Girl there, B-Rapper. He does have the Cell Division available. Liggy Girl going to wisely back out. Meanwhile, down at the bottom lane, we can see Frozen King and Astro Cat trying to disengage. Igniters off on Jack, and they're forced to back off by the incoming minions. So nicely done by Baylieve there, both at top and at bot.
Pretty much, it's going to be one of those matches that we can see coming up where it is actually quite even. I mean, well, 2,000 lead is not really, what you consider quite even. But I'd say that Baylieve definitely have a much more better late game team set up for them.
Yeah, well, they've got the cleanup potential of the Kha'Zix. They've got Nasus, who doesn't really need to be talked about in late game at all. Gragas definitely starts to fall off. Fizz is a little bit better at going in and assassinating. But mid-game, Gragas is ridiculous. First piece of infrastructure going to go the way of team name Pending now at almost 3,000 gold lead. Mid lane going to take some attention from both of the mid laners here. As Deathify going straight in onto TMACW. Takes a decent chunk of damage there. Nice dodge on the fish by Deathify. Going to try and flash away. Gets the ignite put down on him. Explosive class going to do a lot of damage to both J4 and to Fizz. Peace trying to follow it up. Barrel roll will be enough to take down the J4, but now Airy is in here. Peace going to try and flash away, but nice troll pole from Shadow Fiend, and Jack actually going to pick up both kills there. Blue buff goes the way of Ezreal, and now the mid lane looking to be in terrible danger. Nice turnaround from team name Pending.
Pretty much, they wanted that. The goal went straight to the character they want, and there we go. Classic mistake, overstaying in that particular regard there. One of those things I've heard about is if you're by yourself on the tower and they've got 3 people, you should just back away.
Yeah.
Because chances are they're going to take that tower anyway, and they're going to pick you up along the way.
Yeah, I mean, if they're diamonds, they know how to juggle the tower aggro. Of course, they didn't have to juggle there. They just kind of got the poor fish support to tank it all up. But,
pretty much. So it's like, okay, Airy, you go in, and we just do all the damage. No, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Trust me. Trust me. You've got this.
You'll be A-okay.
A-okay. Well, she was, and she just walked away. She was like, I'm a fish.
Okay, so AstroCat is struggling on the CS compared to his counterpart. 4-1-1 Jack. That Airy definitely set that one up for him. And then they roam mid, got another double for him, and he's looking very pretty. Already has the Trinity Force, going to be working towards potentially the Bloodthirster, maybe Last Whisper. Well, with Narcissus going Spirit Visage, I'd say Bloodthirster would be a lot better. TMACW going to be coming in. Frozen King has his, well, doesn't have his stun, but Deathify going to leap out of that one. Nice dodge on the Ezreal ultimate, but he gets sniped out anyway. Jack is unstoppable with the sheened up Mystic Shot, sniping out poor Deathify there. He does a lot of damage, but he can't take a lot of it.
Here we go, and as we can see here, this is quite funny seeing a Nami bully out of Lucian, as we can see. But he does no mana, and he's going nowhere.
No,
the French J4 is coming in for it.
Oh, they're going to be able to donate this over to Jack. Yes, they are indeed going to do that, and this Ezreal quickly becoming a problem. Of course, he's not as susceptible to the Wither of Susan that other AD carries are. He, of course, does have the Mystic Shot, so he can still be relevant even when he is as slow as a turtle. B-Rapper going to be going in on top of Frozen King, going to try and take him down, but little BL Liggy Girl going to turn that one around, and B-Rapper is now down.
He's still going.
Does take it down. Cell Division is available. Will he get the leap up in time? He does have Flash and the leap. Liggy Girl out of mana, cannot do anything about it, and team name Pending, they're walking away with this one at the moment. Liggy Girl, can he get the Zac down? Gets him in midair with the baseball swing. Can he take the Bloblets down? He's going to get some siphoning strike stacks off it, but I don't think he can take him down. Actually, the Ezreal ultimate True Shot Barrage going to come in, attempt to turn it around. Ghost gets popped by Liggy Girl. Perseverance props, and it looks like team name Pending going to give up on that one, except for Shadow Fiend.
Shadow Fiend, he smells blood. He wants to get the doggy.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna get the doggy.
Nothing he can do there. There's no mana for the ultimate. B-Rapper going to come up and secure that one. Nicely done by team name Pending. Baylieve going to try and react to this one. Explosive Cask and Ignite are available for Peace, and there is no Cell Division. Zac not going to be going into places. Shadow Fiend quite low as well. Can they turn this one around? Nice leap there onto Peace. Explosive Cask gets them both very low. Barrel roll. Will it go out? No. Ignite onto Shadow Fiend. Deathify going to be coming in, and he desperately needed that gold from the 360, the Zac that was worth 360. Beautifully turned around by Baylieve, their team name Pending. The more greedy on their team, hanging around just a little bit too long, but they do manage to pick up Dragon after that.
Pretty much, it was a fantastic response by Team Name Pending after they realized that top was a lost cause. So basically, let's take up the dragon, let's soak up what gold we can, and recoup the losses instantaneously, pretty much.
No, it was a good reaction. Top tower is going to end up falling with Deathify trying to push that one. He really needs the evolution on the leap. That will make it a lot easier. Oh, actually, he already has it, I think. Yeah, he does.
His wings are bigger. That's that's the indicator that he's already got them. So he's got the
mobility. He just needs some more damage.
Pretty much, he's already picked up that Spirit of the Elder Lizard and the Brutalizer. So right now, if you get him alone, or if he gets anyone alone, they will be dropping.
Or if he comes in a team fight where everyone's half health, which is very easy with a Gragas who's been doing very well in the CS. He's only being beaten by Zac and Ezreal, and that's barely there, and doing pretty well on the kills and assists himself. Once he gets the death cap, he's easily going to be able to set up a situation for Kha'Zix to just leap around.
Pretty much, the main issue right now is Jack, and basically, Kha'Zix is going to have his work cut out for him, because if he tries to jump onto Jack, Jack's going to be like, no worries, I'm just going to shift away, thank you very much, and if he goes too far, Kha'Zix is going to find himself in a world of hurt.
Well, what I like about Baylieve's comp is they've got a decent bit of tankiness with this, some pseudo mobility from the Lucian. You've got, mobility and tankiness from Deathify, and actually Jack going to be baited in there with being forced to blow the flash. Deathify not giving up, though Void Spikes will get the slow on, but ends up backing out. The entirety of team name Pending, apart from Zac, going to be reacting to this one, but Baylieve managed to get out in the end. And what I was trying to say, Mendrix, is Baylieve, every single person on their team is a threat, even Frozen King. Annie's base damages are very good. Doesn't matter if she's this far behind. Tibbers by itself 200 damage. Both of her abilities very spammy. So even though they're behind, they've got a lot of damage.
Well, exactly. They're the end game team. All they need to do is hold out right now. And as we can see, we've got some excitement happening with the Let's Bounce going through onto Gragas. Nami ult coming through, and there is a teleport down from the Nasties. He's trying to clean up. He's got, I'm raid boss status now. Let's come on, guys. Let's see what you got. And as we can see, everything seems to be just calming down right now.
Yeah, that was a nice disengage from the teleport and the explosive cast. Team name Pending going to take a little bit of damage for their troubles. Tower still looking quite healthy, so Baylieve will be able to hold on to this one. Top tower still up for them, as about 2/5 of its health remaining. Team name Pending going to take this opportunity to back out, which will give Baylieve free reign over their own jungle. I want to point out the vision for the red team here, Mendrix. If you press F2, there is a lot of deep warding going on. Half of it is trinkets, but even then, they've got a good read on the enemy.
Yeah, definitely. I can see that they've got it right now. If you press F1, pretty much that section of the jungle, only their jungle is what's covered right now. They just want to see what's happening. They're worried about where Team Name Pending's coming from. Whereas Team Name Pending's basically trying to take control, and anyone they see, they're going to take out the moment they walk through. As you can see, Kha'Zix is already just lit up. Fizz knows he needs to be safe, and he's just going to back away.
Oh, Deathify, no, he's not going to be too greedy. He's actually picked himself up a best friend sword. We could see him go for the Bloodthirster. That was picked up, what was I watching where they went BT? I think it was OGN, where there were Kha'Zixes in mid and they'd rush straight for the Bloodthirster, and literally anyone who was not a tank just gets deleted if Kha'Zix touches them. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for that one. B-Rapper, will he be able to interrupt this? No, he does not. Nice barrel roll from Peace to pick that one up for himself. B-Rapper trying to get a little bit of harass down up at the top to get the tower down, but Frozen King is there in time. Going to be picking up some nice gold from the Nomad's Medallion. Definitely needs to get the Talisman up, because once you have a Zac, a J4, and a Tidal Wave coming at your team, you need the movement speed to deal with it. So Talisman is a priority pickup for him.
Definitely. Sorry about that. My mic was having a bit of an issue right there. So, but yeah. So, what have I missed in particular? Is anything exciting happening, or?
Well, the top lane still being pressured by Zac. He's now heading down to the mid. Baylieve are scrambling to try and react. Now, French J4 waiting off to the side. It's actually going to be going in. Tidal Wave goes off, but it will only hit the backside of Peace. But that will give them enough room to get the tower very low. The culling comes out from Lucian, and it will be enough to clear out the minions, so that the enemy team takes a lot of damage. But beautiful initiation from the Zac goes off, and blue members are falling left, right, and center. Shadow Fiend going to flash away from the rampaging Susan, who doesn't get to go on much more of a rampage. Astro Cat still at full health, but not much mana. Deathify looking quite unhealthy himself. The red team very low, but they don't take a single casualty. They get the tier 2 down, they get 2 kills, and looking very stylish as they disengage there. 55 seconds off the dragon respawning. Jack will pick himself up the red buff, and things looking quite dire for Baylieve at the moment.
Yeah, right now their only hope is really just to turtle up and make sure that TMP don't really when they come into the siege, it's going to be an issue. And they will have issues sieging Baylieve right now, because they have, with that Gragas, they're going to have plenty of wave clear. Even though Annie will be able to help out in that regard. So what we'll probably see.
Spirit Fire.
Not to mention Spirit Fire. That thing is actually quite annoying when you see him pushing. It's quite surprising when I see it come through. But what we're looking to see, that I believe TNT will be looking to do, is probably pick up the dragon when it comes in. That's going to come up in the next 15 seconds. And then they'll probably there you go, and they put the ward in preparation for it, and probably then they'll make their way for Baron. And once they feel they've got a big enough gold lead, they'll definitely push through. And rather than try to siege Baylieve, which I think Baylieve, even though they've got the Ezreal for the poke, I think Baylieve has the advantage with the Gragas and Annie Clear and the Spirit Fire.
Just the disengage they've got, you could see it in the tower there. The only reason that fight turned around for Team Name Pending was Barappa landed a perfect slingshot into Let's Bounce. As we can see, the Airy Nami going to be caught out by the barrels of Peace. Jack going to try and get a bit of damage down. Arcane flashes out of the fight there. Very nice pick off by Baylieve after the dragon is picked up, and that's the kind of things they need to make happen. Their warding is looking a little bit better now, trying to regain a little bit of the vision control for themselves. There are some pink wards that are in the dragon pit, but that area is becoming a lot less important for the time being.
Yeah, what you'll find is those pink wards are going to start making their way towards the Baron pit, and I'm surprised to see with Team Name Pending what they've got there. The amount of wards they have literally just around that the mid lane is a bit over excessive.
Nothing's going to happen without them knowing about it.
Pretty much, yeah. If anyone goes through that mid lane, they'll know. They will know.
Okay, so shout out to Maya Arcana, a Dota 2 caster from Singapore, who will be casting some Indian Dota 2 with me later on tonight. It was funny because last night we had a bit of a joke, Mendrix, about the Dota, like both the blue and the red side are called the Radiant and the Dire, and I said things are looking very dire for the red team. Without realizing that they're called dire.
It's the pun is too easy.
Yeah.
The pun
oh,
is
man,
too easy.
They write themselves.
Pretty much. As we can see here, it looks like Gragas has got his attention on the Fizz, and he's just going to walk away. Checking to see, is his ultimate up right now? Yes, it is. So he was maybe looking to see if he could cast him right towards the main team and get him killed, but the fish is too slippery.
Yeah, it will be very difficult to lock him down now that he has the blue buff. Deathify being pretty bold by advancing forward like this. Team name Pending, they've got their sights set on the tier 2 at the bottom lane. B-Rapper was pushing out at the top. Liggy Girl does have teleport available. B-Rapper does not have teleport at all. So, potential 4v5 can happen, but of course, B-Rapper has two ways of interrupting the teleport should it be done in an obvious place. He is headed his way over now. Liggy Girl going to make the long walk to the bottom lane instead of pressuring with the possibility of a teleport. As we talked about the minion clearing before, Mendrix, it is working dividends for Baylieve at the moment, but a new wave of minions coming in. B-Rapper may just decide to engage himself. No water will get cleared out. Liggy Girl not quite tanky enough to stroll in 1v5 just yet. And we'll have to see if Team Name Pending get that wombo combo that we talked about, and if they even care about the tower, which is starting to take a bit of damage.
Yeah, it's basically, as you can see, that wave clears. It's just those minion waves are melting. They've managed to take, what, 10% off? Right now, it's very dangerous for them to engage Baylieve underneath that tower. And what I'm saying before is they should, basically push the lanes out, take a Baron, or force a Baron, and that way they can force the team fight in their favor.
Yeah, exactly like you say, they should push the lanes out, and then they've got some decent damage for the Baron, honestly. Like, Jack is just going to monster it down as Baron grows in power over time. He's got a lot of items. Zac has the percentage damage. Even Fizz has a decent bit of burst, so Baron would fall quite quickly. But Baylieve, against a Gragas, it is difficult when you're grouped up like that. And then, of course, they've got the Kazakhs, they've got the Narcissus with the Fury of the Sand, so they've got to be careful when they go for Bazkebab. They could easily throw the game away if they do it at an inopportune moment.
Purely because of the Kazakhs and the Annie, those two right there are the ones that will basically, will cause an issue, because they're going to want to jump onto Lucian, and if that Annie peels properly with her ultimate, and then pretty much that Kazakhs will clean up anyone that tries to get near him, and then he's free to jump around and start picking them away.
Yeah, he does have the Bloodthirster now, and the Ionian Boost of Lucidity has completely skipped defense in with wanting to go for the damage. Just to clarify for Maya's friends, I cast both games. I've been casting LoL for over a year, and I just started Dota 2 a couple months ago. Thankfully, Maya can carry me with the Dota casting, but LoL is my main game, so that's why it's a little bit better quality here. I actually know what things are called. And there's no silly,
LoL's where the love is.
There's no, global vials looking at you, Spirit Breaker. Pretty ridiculous.
It is fun to see him charging across the map, though, I have to admit. I remember being able to play that back in the original Dota days. Spirit Breaker, he was my favourite champion.
He was a funny guy.
Yeah, he was. It was like, oh, what's that? They're a little overextended by their third tier turret. I think I'll go for it.
Oh, they just walk into their base, start charging.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Actually, I remember one time I managed to charge straight up to the fountain, kill someone, and then use the teleport boots to escape.
Oh man, Dota 2 so unbalanced.
It is quite, and here we go, they're going for the Baron right now.
It's a fun game to watch. So, Bazkebab will be started on now. Interestingly enough, talking about Dota, Baron Nashor is Roshan backwards, as Tidal Wave will go off, lands onto Astrocat. He manages to avoid both the Cataclysm and the Bubble, but he is being chased by the entirety of the red team. Liggy Girl taking a lot of damage. Deathify going to be coming in. Jack takes a decent bit of damage from their Shadow Fiend. Will he go down to give Deathify the reset? No, he will not. A single member of Team Name Pending has gone down yet, or not has gone down yet, as Peace going to recall his way back. That was brilliantly set up by Airy on the Nami to get the ball rolling for Team Name Pending. That may be the end of this tier 3 in the mid.
Pretty much, that slight little just a little bit of bad positioning from Lucian. Then he was basically chased down from the team. He did a good job of kiting for as long as he did, I must admit. But his team just weren't in position to protect him, and they suffered for that.
Okay, so tier 3 will go down now. The inhibitor looks like it will be disengaged away from. Bubble goes out to give them a little bit of movement speed. The blue ping's going out onto Baylieve by Baylieve. I wonder if they're going to rush this one while team name Pending get out.
It's interesting. They're going for the dragon right now, and it's entirely possible for them to just go straight for that Baron. And it looks like they are right now. The Talisman of Ascension has been used, and they're flying in right now. They're going to see that ward's going to show off what they're thinking right now, and looks like team name Pending's coming in.
Okay, so the dragon will end up falling to the Fizz. Like you say, red team going to be coming in, but Pete's going to get a lot of damage down onto Jack. That may dissuade team name Pending from going for the Baron. It was a nice try by Baylieve, but they passed about 5 million wards, so it makes it a little tricky.
Pretty much. It's, you know, you can't really go for Baron when it's clearly known along the way. And especially when they're at the dragon, they see them walking towards the Baron. It's clearly obvious what's going to happen. They just happen to go, "Yep, no worries. We'll meet you there. Go for it. We dare you. Start the Baron."
See what happens. Although to be fair, Jack, that was like 2 abilities from Gragas.
Yeah, I think right there and then Gragas put the fear of God in Jack.
Yeah, or the clearly, fear of Fat Santa.
The fear of Fat Santa, pretty much.
Oh, Gragas has the body of a god. I'm pretty sure Buddha looks like that.
I think he does. I don't know. I mean, he's supposed to be enlightened. That's why he's enlightened. All he does is drink alcohol all day.
Or enlightened may be another word for just, you know, off his face.
Pretty much. And as we can see here, they're clearing up and getting ready for it, and all of them up in Frozen King
has balls of steel.
Pretty much.
Which is weird to say when he's playing an 8-year-old girl.
Bravest Annie Oceania right there. And they're going back in for the Baron right now. So basically, they're going to try and pull off the same thing again, where they're going to force a Baron, see if the enemy team comes for them, and if they do, they'll punish them with their superior team fight. And if they don't, they're going to take Baron and brute force this game down.
Okay, sorry guys for the troubles with the stream. Don't know what's going on. Second time that is working. You do not want to line up against a Nami. The culling will go out by Astrocat. Deathify going to jump with the fish on his face. Will he manage to escape? No. Does end up going down. Second time that works. Peace is actually going to take it down. Jack there as B-Rapper was not able to peel for him. But Astrocat in the base going to be taken down by the J4 Fizz combo. Peace going to try and recall out Liggy Girl, going for a bit of the 1v1 Black Ops.
Oh wow.
I don't know if they can actually take Liggy Girl down here. B-Rapper is trying his best. Liggy Girl, yeah, was out of mana, could not get the lifesteal out from the Soul Stealer passive. Inhibitor in the mid will fall, Peace flashes and body slams out. Will B-Rapper be able to catch up? Don't know if Cell Division is available. It is indeed. Ignite goes off by Peace. And, the passive almost gets him back alive. The sole survivor is Frozen King, and I think that's because he was the first one to die. We talked about it, Mandrix. Against an AoE team comp, you cannot group up in this little spot. It doesn't work.
Pretty much. That's the way they're waiting for every time. And as you can see here, Frozen King getting jumped onto, and he's got... Oh, he almost got Fizz then, but the Zonia is saving his life.
Poor Tibbers copped a smite to the face.
That's something that Tibbers was not expecting, and then that 50 gold will go happily to the J4.
No, he's not going to have smite for a little while. Very low cooldown, of course, because of the preseason. So Bazgabab has been a very enticing target for Baylieve. They've, I think Annie's died 3 times now going for that one. They got to find at least a different way of approach, if not an entirely different approach to the situation. They cannot charge up this corridor against not only a Nami, but a Zac, a giant earth fish whale thing.
Yeah, it's basically, you know, they're lining them up pretty much, as from the famous words of StarCraft. You know, they're getting lined up to be fried,
yeah.
And they don't really have much of an option though. Each corridor to Baron is a narrow entrance. You know, short of flashing over the edges, there's no way they can get in without.
Oh, Peace! He's going to be saying peace to himself. Explosive Castle's a lot there. He's going to chuckle to himself.
A little bit of disrespect. He knew he was dead. He's like, I laugh at your death. Ha ha ha. And right now they're going to take the Baron, and I think after this they're going to go for the brute force down.
Okay, so hopefully Maya Arcana gives us some more Dota jokes while we wait for what's going to happen in this fight between J4 and Zac. There is just way too much tank here. Jack's not even helping with the Baron and it's still dying. I'd say mostly thanks to the Zac with the percentage damage of whatever the W is called, the unstable matter. We'll be ripping a Baron apart, and that may be the beginning of the end. Oh, look at the bottom lane, Mendrix. Baylieve, that's their last gambit.
They're basically saying, look, we understand we can't fight you in team fights, so we're just going to bypass you and try and get through. But unfortunately, team name Pending is going for the win right now, and there's no way that they'll be able to get back in time to stop this.
No, and particularly with a Fizz headed off to try and interrupt the recalls, I'd say it looks like team name Pending going to have a awesome debut in the Cybergamer League of Legends open ladder. Here's the Nexus, falls lower and lower. Jack going to completely dodge the bug out, and that is indeed all she wrote for this Cybergamer game, Mendrix.
Pretty much, as we can see, the Jav and J4 just happily walking into the fountain right there at the very end. He's just like, I am going for wine.
Okay, so well done by team name Pending. They took the mid game and held it with an iron grip, with Baylieve rushing for the bottom lane tower. That kind of sealed the deal for them. Baylieve played very well early on, but they just started to fall apart a little bit and could never really get their ground back up.
They definitely had the endgame team, but team name Pending had the team fight, and even if as we were saying before, experience we thought was going to come through in the end, but obviously it didn't. As you can see, I have seen the names before of Jack, T-Mac, and Shadow Fiend, and probably that's where they had some good synergy coming through for them as well.
Okay, fair enough. So we're going to have to nominate an MVP. I am all in favour of giving it to either our French J4, who is probably anything but French, or Airy on the Nami. He did a brilliant job.
I'm giving to Airy because seriously, those ultimates, those Aqua Prisms, those are what got Jack to the place that he needed to be. And
Jack did brilliantly with the advantages he was given, but support,
he would have never got there if it wasn't. To be honest, we can probably give a joint to J4 and Airy, in my opinion, because J4 was walking around and keeping the Kazakhs on his feet, so that way he wouldn't be able to jump on Jack when he needed to.
Yeah, had some very stylish knockups as well in the middle of a Gragas leap to get to enable the first blood. Even got an assist while he was farming the wolves.
Well, he's French. He's all about style. So
TMACW to Mac. That's I don't think you can make that name make sense no matter what you do.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not sure. Maybe we should ask him later about the origins of it, or maybe it was one of those things that just those funny stories where
he's in the chat. He's in the Twitch chat.
So what is the origins of your story, mate? Please tell.
Team Mac WW. Where did you get this strange name from? As while we wait for that response, thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We very much appreciate it. I apologise for the troubles with the stream. I have to figure out what was going on there. If you are interested in Dota 2, we will be bringing that to you in about 40 minutes time. If you head on over to the GameStar Facebook, we will give you some details there. That'll be it from Mendrix for tonight, as I don't think he's interested in the Dota, so hopefully we'll get some more in this week, my friend.
No worries. Hopefully I'm available and I'm free to come cast with you.
Okay, so the VOD will also be up on our Facebook, ladies and gents. Thank you again for tuning in. Have a wonderful night. If you do enjoy Dota 2, make sure to catch our coverage of the First Blood Indian Global Tournament. And if you do like League of Legends, we'll see you at Respawn. This is Cold Blood and Mendrix signing out.
Take care.